Hey guys, and welcome. You know, I was thinking to myself the other day just how amazing SMGs are. They're awesome. They're quick, they're nimble, they have amazing handling, they have quick reloads, and if you've had a few coffees in your system and you feel like running around like a madman, then these little guys are just perfect. And let's be honest here, who wouldn't want one for themselves? Or maybe I'm just a weirdo who's obsessed with things that go pew-pew. But anyway, there are a lot to choose from. Which one would you want to go? Which one is better? Should I go Vector? Should I go MP5? Or maybe the grease gun? You might have no clue. And guess what? You no longer have to be in that horrible, awkward situation. So, this is what we're going to do today. This is why we're here. We're here to answer all those questions. We are here to unravel all your dilemmas so you can be prosperous and live your life in confidence and be on top of those scoreboards. Now, there's a few to get through, so let's get into it. Weapon number 1 with the highest DPS is the Vector. The Vector comes in the 45 ACP caliber round. It has a damage to torso of 95.43. It has an RPM of 1,200, which gives us a fire rate of 20 rounds per second. I mean, that's incredible. This machine shoots 20 rounds per second. That's just incredible. The Vector 45 ACP does a DPS damage of 1,909. It does cost 6 points, which is a little bit on the expensive side. But, you know, it's completely up to you guys what you want to do. Also, one thing to take note is that you'll have to be comfortable and prepared for that inverted recoil. Best weapon number 2 with the highest DPS is the MP5. MP5 comes in the 9mm. Damage to the torso is 62.5, has an RPM of 800, gives us a fire rate per second of 13.3 rounds with a total DPS of 833.3. It's cheap, it only costs 3 points. MP5's great, I use it heaps. It's absolutely awesome and it's so cheap. Best weapon number 3 with the highest DPS is the grease gun, also known as the M3. It also comes in a 45 ACP round. Just a quick FYI guys, just a little info on some firearm knowledge. If you aren't sure what the difference between a 9mm and a 45 ACP round is, as they are essentially identical, some of the difference between the two is that the 9mm has a higher velocity than the 45 ACP, which leads to a deeper bullet penetration and a less vertical drop, as well as having less recoil than the 45 ACP. The 45 ACP is an older round. The 9mm is a newer round, and generally the military defense forces prefer the 9mm. So the grease gun damage to torso is 95.43. It has an RPM of 451. It's got a fire rate of 7.5 rounds per second, giving us a DPS of 717.3. And it's cheap as it only costs 2 points. This gun is heaps of fun. I personally, I just find the firing sounds that they make, like it sounds awesome. I like it. It's a great gun, and it's really cheap, and it's overall, in terms of power, pretty good. Best weapon number 4 is the MP7. The MP7 comes in a caliber round of 4.6 by 30mm. It has a damage to torso of 42.2 with a RPM of 952, which gives us a fire rate of 15.8 rounds per second, which gives us a DPS value of 666.7. The MP7 is a little on the expensive side for my taste. It costs 4 points. And also to take into consideration that the MP5 is actually, it's superior to the MP7. It's got a higher RPM and it's got a much higher DPS than the MP7. But I mean, the thing to consider with the MP7 is that the 4.6 by 30mm is actually a rifle round. And so I think that's what makes the MP7 a armor piercing round. So it's one thing to consider for the MP7 is the armor piercing. But I don't personally use the MP7. Generally, you don't really want to be running around with armor in this game. It's kind of a waste of points because it's usually 1 to 2 shot kills anyway. I think more so the newbies run around with armor, but you know, each to their own. My personal opinion, I'd always prefer the MP5 over the MP7. Best weapon number 5 is the AKS-74U. Comes in a caliber round of 4.45 by 39mm. It has a damage to torso of 53.2 with an RPM of 723, which gives us a fire rate of 12 rounds per second, which gives us the DPS of 641. The AKS-74U only costs 3 points, so it's quite cheap. This gun is available in the Insurgency Advisor. And just a quick note, guys, I wasn't sure whether to have the AKS-74U as part of this list, as it technically doesn't fit the definition of a submachine gun, which is usually any small weapon that is compact, lightweight, and chambered in a pistol caliber round. But I was doing research. I kept getting mixed information saying that, yes, it's a submachine gun, no, it's a compact rifle. But, you know, for the sake of the video, we're just gonna make it a submachine gun. The other option of SMG is the FN-P90, which comes in a caliber round of 5.7 by 28mm. But it is a lot more expensive. It costs 5 points, and the DPS is a little lower with 585. However, the P90 has a mag capacity of 50 rounds. I mean, that's pretty cool. So, you know, each to their own. If you want to spend that extra couple of points and run the P90, and the P90 is actually not too bad of a little SMG either. So that's all for today, guys. That is my weapon list of the best SMGs, the funnest SMGs. Let me know what you think. If you liked my video, like it, subscribe, leave a comment. If anything you want me to improve on, got any points, then let me know. I really enjoyed doing this. Have a nice day, guys, and most of all, be nice to each other.